What makes a good sword?
Well, the first step is it wieldable?
If your sword is too big and heavy to pick up and use, it's not a very good sword.
Okay, you found a sword that you can pick up and wield, so this is a good sword.
Well, not necessarily. Your sword should also not actively cause you injury.
I don't know what you're talking about. Ow. Ow.
Stop.
Ow.
Stop. Oh wait, this is way too heavy too. Okay, so you found a sword that is wieldable and doesn't hurt you. So it's a good sword, right?
Well, it depends. What is this made out of?
Come on, man. Swords have been made out of all sorts of things over the years.
Copper, bronze, iron.
And weirder things.
But there's a reason that they didn't use all that other crap once they discovered steel.
This one sucks so bad. I don't like that. So steel's the way to go, but not just any steel. This is stainless steel.
And this is what we call a wall hanger.
Because all it's good for is hanging on your wall.
Generally, you want something made out of carbon steel. There are exceptions, but stainless steel isn't something you want a sword to be made out of. Generally, you want what we call high carbon steel.
There are a bunch of different types of high carbon steel.
Like if you wanted to know the differences of what's the difference between 1045 and 1075, 9260 and 1095.
And if you want to get that nitty gritty, this intro level beginner video is not the one for you.
You need to leave!
Generally, if you don't know, try and get 1095 carbon steel.
So you have a sword that is wieldable, will not hurt you, and is made of a good carbon steel. Now you have a good sword.
Well, not necessarily, because is it tempered correctly?
You're telling me this sword has a bad temper?
No, but I'm gonna if you don't stop making bad jokes. The temper of the sword determines whether or not it's going to shatter, bend, or break.
This is the hardest thing to really know what you're getting, because people could just go online and lie.
You have to go off the reputation of the vendor, but even a good vendor
Can have quality control issues.
so you don't really know an individual sword's temper until you get it and find out if it's bad when it shatters. Good luck. Okay, so I have a sword that is wieldable, that does not actively hurt me, that is made out of a good steel, and that I know has a good temper. So I now have the perfect sword.
Not so fast. Perfect for what? What are you gonna use it for?
Killing people.
Beelzebub, Satanas, Lucifer.
Some swords are better at cutting. Some swords are better at thrusting. It depends on which one you use it for.
So before you pick
And back in time out. So before you go and find your perfect sword, figure out what are you gonna use it for.
Can I please come back and help with the video?
Okay, but you have to promise no more killing.
Fine, no more killing. To demonstrate this point, let's look at two different types of swords. The long sword,
And the katana.
everybody knows the long sword is for thrusting,
And the katana is for cutting.
except that's not really true.
Both of these swords can do both of those things.
But there is a little bit of truth in this statement because the katana is better at cutting due to its curved blade geometry,
And the long sword is better at thrusting because it's double-edged and comes to a needle point.
but it gets more complicated than that. While this long sword is specialized in thrusting, there are other long swords with different specialities.
Like this long sword, which is specialized in cutting.
You can tell that these are different swords. This one narrows to a needle tip, whereas this one stays broader and has more of a spear tip.
The broader blade means that the point of balance is farther away from your hand, which gives you more weight in your cuts.
And on this, the point of balance is further back, which makes it more maneuverable, which makes it easier to thrust. But just talking about this isn't gonna prove my point, so let's do a demonstration. As you can see, this stab's good.
Nice. For contrast, now we have the less stabby sword that I will stab to stab the stabby guy.
Now, let's be honest, dead is dead, but he still didn't stab him as much as the other sword. Me next. Oh yeah. Me nice and clean.
Let me focus on the tip.
Just the tip.
How you like that?
Don't forget the shaft. It got dirty. You know what? Don't use this in the video editors. Just for funsies, we're gonna do the same thing with the katana. It stabs pretty good, but if I keep pushing, it'll go through. It doesn't stab quite as well as the stabby longsword. So now that we've seen the longsword and the katana in the thrust,
Let's take a look at the longsword and the katana in the cut.
I almost got all the way through it without much power. Here's using the technique you need to with this kind of a sword.
So much easier. So obviously the katana is better at cutting than the longsword.
Well, that katana.
So obviously the katana is better at cutting than the longsword.
Well, this katana is better at cutting than that longsword, but just like there are different longswords, there are different katanas. This is the shinogi. It is kind of the standard katana. It's got a thick spine that doesn't taper towards the edge, which means it's got a decent amount of mass in the front, which makes it great at cutting and okay at thrusting.
And this is the Hira. It has a thinner blade and it does taper toward the end, which makes it lightweight and agile, but means it has less mass at the cutting edge.
Uh-oh. Okay, so this one you need to put a little more 50 because it's lighter.
There you go. And this is the Unokubi, which has a thick spine that then narrows, meaning that it's somewhere in the middle of these two. Woo!
It didn't even move.
Now, you might be saying it's really tough to tell the difference between these katanas.
And that would be a fair observation. These are different, but the variation is small.
Compared to katanas, longswords have much greater variation.
And this also means that the performance also varies greatly.
This sword is excellent at cutting, and the difference between it and a katana is marginal at best.
Now, while this sword can still cut pretty well, it was never designed to hack off limbs, so it's much harder to get through a full roll of a tatami than with a dedicated cutting sword.
So, there is no perfect sword.
There are plenty of good swords,
And plenty of bad swords.
but to find your perfect sword,
you have to ask yourself, what are you trying to use it for?
Lucifer,